we're talking about today. Lakers playing time,
Playing Germany.
Mavs still securing the
Secure
fifth seed. Yeah, right. And then
Cavs.
Cavs, what did they do?
They got the third seed.
Please enjoy this feature presentation of the Crooked River Radio Network. This program is rated for all audiences.
4 guys on sports. 4 guys on sports. 4 guys on sports starts now.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Sir.
Good to be here. Good to see you, Mr. Nate.
Yes, sir.
Sure, man. Good to be seen. Man.
We've been waiting to pick on you for weeks.
Good to be seen.
Yeah, man.
Good to be seen, man.
Amen for that. Amen for that, bro.
Yeah.
Good to be seen. I hear you.
Yeah, we've been waiting for you. Well, you got a catch-up show to do.
Amen. Got some work to do, huh?
That's right. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about. I overheard Shawn giving his side of what he thought we should talk about. But I got some other stuff we haven't covered since you've been here that's been in the news.
Ooh.
You mind if I start with that?
Yeah. Not at all.
You
What do you
guys-
think?
Go ahead.
All right, the other night, Eric and I had a chance. He actually got wind of an NFL kicker that was available. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he was a third stringer. He was with the Browns for a few years, and he knows all he knew everything, everybody from Belichick to the Cleveland people to what's his name up there with the Ravens. He was actually friends with the old special teams coach for the Browns. Well, we got talking, and I asked him what he thought about the new rules. And I don't know if you've been how aware of those you are, Nate, and that they came up with 3 or 4 rules that they're going to change the game with, change the NFL games with. You aware of that?
Yeah, make it a little safer, man.
At least that's what they're saying.
Make the scoring go up too.
And he told me, he says, it could be borderline disaster. He says, but on the other hand, it could be borderline great. He says, nobody knows yet. Because we haven't played a game in it. He says, I'm going to tell you what, he says, it's going to be hard for the, each line to actually stand there watching until the ball gets caught or touched or whatever. And he says the simple fact of it is too. He says they did away with the. I said, well, why did they do away with the fair catch? I said that was put in there back in the 70s to actually help with the safety. He says, well, I don't need it. He says on the other side, he says. And I've said this before on a couple other occasions. He says, if you're playing a bad defense and you got a decent or tremendous offense, he says, these guys standing there 5 yards apart, he says, they're going to rip them apart. He says you're going to see a lot of returns that are clear into the end zone. He said once a ball handler gets a hold of the ball, he says, especially if you come up against a team that hasn't got the defense that matches the offense on the other side.
Mm.
What do you think about that, Nate? What do you think about the changes?
I know what I know what they're saying there. I know why they say, they do it for safety and, they want the game to be more exciting and people, equate excitement to scoring. But I always look at things differently. I always look and try to figure out what is the political side of what's the bull? What is the side that they won't share with you? And to be quite frankly, I think that you're going to wind up seeing like long term, if these things go over, they get to be, the game, meaning everybody adapts to it. You're going to see long term, you're going to see a change in the way salaries are structured because there's going to be so many returns, touchdown terms. You're going to see a difference in, why do you need certain individuals? In other words, there's like, we can see it kind of shifting now. This narrative, like there's been like a time in the game where there was a premium for a good running back. Okay. That's going to change. So you're going to have, maybe a guy that's basically a track star, be a lot smaller, way faster, and they're going to be getting drafted, to try to score quick, like fast break basketball, basically. And so you're going to see, salaries get restructured. It's just not going to be, it's not going to be the same game, because, it only takes for a little while for people to get, okay, so now we know how to maximize this new rule. Okay. And so you're going to see a whole lot of stuff getting run into the end zone, and there won't be the same desire to have this grinded out type of position anymore. These running backs, it's going to change a lot. And also, man, to be honest, man, I don't mind the rule regarding the the tackle, anything that enables a guy to be able to retire and still be able to walk, to me is a plus. But the other stuff, I'm not really a fan with it. I know what they're saying, but I just look at it and I see ultimately long range, it's going to change. It's going to change a lot. There won't be the same, you won't need these grinded out type running back. You won't need it anymore. It's going to be like fast break football. It's like, it's ridiculous. It's silly to be actually, in my opinion, it's stupid. And it's not even real anymore. Like it's exciting. Well, let's say it was very exciting to see a guy return a punt. I mean, now you're going to be wondering how come they can't return on punts? They never return punts. It's not going to be the same, excitement. It's not going to be the same energy around it because the expectation is, you should be able to return a punt that way. So I don't really like the new rule at all. I think it's kind of flag football-ish.
I think personally, I think Goodell's trying to turn the damn league into a flag football situation. I don't know. I've thought that from the beginning of his career.
It might be. I mean, there could be a lot of reasons for the stupid stuff. Long range. You look at the shifts now. Now look at society. Okay, we got this thing now where, and I'm not going to go too far down this side. Don't really want to offend any viewers that may be checking in today that may have these tendencies, but because you have this shift in society now with this whole thing where transgender stuff, Okay. And then also you have this thing where, you want females, they want to be able to play in the man's game, football game. I mean, the league, it's going to be so soft pretty soon to where, I mean, you might actually see that one day where you have a football league that is,
Co-ed.
We get big,
that is,
we get big Russian women.
different. Huh? So,
We got a halfback that's a Russian woman. She's big. Her name's Bertha.
I mean, well, look, you already
One of the
got
butt
the quarterback. Look, on the real, you already got the quarterback, man, that's wearing, the pink fingernail. So, I mean, like, and which makes me wonder, about him anyway. I don't want a confused person, on my roster. I want a guy who knows who he is in terms of that seems a little suspect to me, but I get it, the world is, different now and different people, different strokes for different folks. But I'm saying with that, the softening of the game and the fact that you do really have women that really do like the game and women, trying to play football, we had some, had a college football female player now and this, that, and that. So I wouldn't, it wouldn't be out of the realm of imagination as they continue to soften the game that at some point you may have males and females playing, football.
Yeah. My wife just walked into the room. Let me ask her something. Would you play on a man's football team? No.
But I'm not a football player.
Well, you like football. If they softened the rules up enough that you thought it was you could do decent in it, would you play?
No.
Well, that answers that.
See, but look, now you got to keep in mind, she already told you she's not a football player. She ain't playing football. But now you ask the woman that played football if they soften that up and then would she play? Her response might be, yeah, I don't know. But it's going to change, man. If I mean, you can't soften the rules up so much, man. The rules are too soft. I mean, if you keep going that way, they're going to get too soft. But I get it. The rules, like, for example, making it more restrictive, the way you hit a guy, tackle a guy, when a guy may be deemed a vulnerable runner. I get it to the degree that you can find rules that make sense to make that to mitigate the likelihood of substantial danger or harm to an individual. I get that, but the rules surrounded around trying to make it easier to score offensively, purely that is so goofy. The driver for that is.
I think coming down to brass tacks here, I think they're trying to feminize the game myself. I've thought that like I said, I thought that the commissioner of the football league is not only behind that, but he's I've understood too. This football player we had on the other night tells us, he says, it wasn't just Goodell that was after the changes. He says the league itself is wanting them. And where I understand where some of that's coming from, I just can't believe that the whole league is trying to sissify things. And the worst part to me is it's taking away from the sport of the game. You're taking you can't, now you can't, you have to kick at the 35-yard line and your players have got to stand still until somebody touches the ball and this and that. And well, why? Why? This is going to take we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks, like I said, and not only on this show, but on Eric's. And to me, Eric actually, Eric actually went out of his way to get this football player to take and stand up to some of the stuff that I was saying. And to me, I don't care what the guy said. His experience as a football player, I understand that, and I understand he wants to walk home at night. And the thing that he more or less said was that they tell us that they want safety in this game, and he says they want us to be able to walk home when we leave the football stadium. And I understand that. I've been in several work environments like that. But there's only so much you can do. And then it starts taking away from the fun of the game. And I think that's what they're doing. It's taken away from the fun of the game. Don't you?
And it affects the record books too.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's almost like they have to come up with a way to track stuff too, because it's going to be so stupid, because it's going to be much easier. And you go, this guy, look at this, he's killing man. It's not even, you can't even, you're comparing two things that are going to be wind up being very different, at the end of the day because this isn't going in other words, this isn't going to suddenly, okay, this is all the rule changes that we're going to make, and now it's going to be better. They're going to make these rule changes, and then,
and they're going to make a few more. And then once they make a few more, they're going to make a few more, and the next thing you know, it's going to be flag football.
It's going to be pretty soft. It's going to be a very soft game. And like I said, pretty soon,
And you know what?
maybe it's not as soon as, maybe it takes place after, our lifetime or whatever. But at some point, there is this likelihood that you could have football be, a sport where you both have men and women on the field at the same time.
Instead of national, it's going to be in the NFL. It's going to be called National Flag League.
And I'm hearing everything you guys saying, and part of me agrees with it. And the other part of it is this, because I think of some things, and I can't help but think about, what's his name, Devin Hester,
Mm-hmm.
the greatest return guy that ever played the game. Could you imagine him being able to play in this era?
That's what I'm saying.
Now,
so you're going to have
right. And
even Eric Metcalf.
Oh, yeah. There's several,
And even Jim Brown. Let's take it to Jim Brown too. You think he can play in this league?
Well, the thing of it is this, and these players like that, and then or the ball is returned. You get so much deeper into the other defense's side of the field that hey, running backs are going to have a shorter. The quarterbacks in general. But a couple of things in that is that as well as the hip check. Okay, now I understand what they say, but at the same time, hip check. Okay, you think when you got to tackle a Derrick Henry or Ezekiel Elliott in his prime, and a lot of these DBs aren't the biggest guys in the world, And when you got somebody 250 pounds that runs a under 4.4 in the 40, you got a hoss, man. And so part of that right there, and then the other part of it is, I think overall, it's the our society, the masculinity of our society is kind of eroding. I agree with you guys on a lot of that. I so much agree. And at the same time, I could see it at one day, maybe it becomes flag football. And like I said the other week, football is the closest thing we had to gladiators in our time. And then the other thing about it is you think about this right here. When you look at the physicality of the game, and with them wanting to, women want to be included nowadays, and we're I do kind of see, I could see where you guys say that because they want to be included. I mean, I heard folks talk about this Caitlin Clark girl, is for instance in basketball, and these other ones, these women basketball players. Okay, now watch them, and they're very skilled. Now, but you put them on the floor with a third string NBA player, and he gonna lock them down. There ain't a woman in the league that a third string NBA player can't lock down. Now, can some of them shoot better than these guys? Yes. But I mean, come on, man, they can lock them down. They're in the top-notch high school player that can't lock these young ladies down.
Right.
But so yeah, there's that whole movement. Yeah, are we to that point where we're being threatened as a society overall, as men, as masculine? Because I don't want to run off in the weeds either and offend any of our viewers, because I'm going to always believe that men and women are different. You know, they are. We genetically, we are different. There's certain things women can do that men can't do, and in like manner, there's certain things that men do that women can't do. You can go get changes, and you can do all kind of things you can alter your body with, but ultimately, what you were born with is what you are. Yeah. And you know, so with all that being said, I get all that. Now, will this increase the excitement of the game with the higher scores? Yes, it will. I mean, they're already doing it in the other league. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the way the game is played already. So they've been looking at this for a while. You know, it's the way the game is played. So now it's going to be nothing for a team to go out there and hang 70 points, you know. And overall, all in all, probably the hardest thing to play, especially in football, is defense. And a defensive back is, you know, granted, quarterback, he's got a job, and they all do. But to be a DB in this league now, man, that's got the toughest position to play, because now they're putting more restrictions on how you tackle a guy, and a guy that's big, strong, and fast, you know, and you may be fast, but you may not be as big and strong. So it's a lot of things are changing, and some of it I understand why they say they're doing it, but let's look at it like this. Mm-hmm. There's more, you know, we got soccer, baseball, football, basketball, you know, we have these other sports, but the grand poobah of it all is what? It's football, guys. Mm-hmm. Football is the biggest sport in the United States. It is what it is. You can argue, say what you will, you know, you may have a preference too, but football leads all of them. And so they didn't really need to, in my opinion, they didn't need to mess with it, no. But I kind of got a wait and see approach towards it all, because I understand as games evolve and way games change. When we watched the Rangers game some weeks ago, and I forgot all about when they go into extra innings, they put a person at second base. You automatically get to put a runner at second base. You advance a runner to second base. So just to speed up the game and all these things. And we're saying maybe this is good for it, you know, because baseball, the popularity in it was decreasing. We look at the NBA, and now they put the play-in tournament in, and you know they're trying to. And I understand times change, and you're trying to improve your product, if you will, you know, whatever it is. Over time, I think you do have to evolve. We look at players in each sport, how they've evolved, their skill level, how they evolved. The skill level of a big man in basketball, it's different now, man. You got to be able to shoot the ball. They don't care if you're 7 foot tall, man. You need to be able to shoot. You can't just go down there and get underneath the basket. You know, the shot clock era that they implemented and certain things, yeah, you can't compare anymore to, you know, people want to compare Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. No, man, that's not going to happen again. First of all, when you look at Wilt Chamberlain, Man, that dude was playing against guys your height, Nate. He's 7 foot tall. Come on, man. What are you gonna do against you 6'2" and he's 7 foot tall? What are you gonna do?
I'd have been taking the ball from Will all day long.
Well, they throw the ball up high. He gets the ball up here and he's standing underneath the basket. And all he got to do is dunk the ball.
And I can just see it now. He's got his one hand on Nate's forehead, and he's just dunking the ball right.
It's funny though, man. But it's funny. You know, we talk about you spot on though. Evolution. You have to roll with the punches and change. But still, some of the rules, man, you do question. And I don't know if we'll ever love the rule change. You know, will we get there? You know, will it cause you? What will it look like? You know, still the NFL, XFL, all these other leagues, it's still different. So, and the expectation is that the NFL is supposed to be a better product anyway. So, but we don't know how these rule changes are going to actually look or show up in the NFL game. You know, we know what it looked like over there, but what will it look like here? And it was easy for us to accept that over there because that's the way that was. But this ain't the way this was. You know, this was NFL. This was the elite, you know, the greatest, you know, and so forth and so on. So now, you know, we're doing something that was in like a preparatory league, if you will. And we're taking it to, quote unquote, the elite and the best of the best. And we're going to test drive this. You know, and actually, it's not even test driving. They actually bought it without the test drive. You know, so I think it was interesting. I think what I would have liked to have seen them do is that maybe they should have tested first. They should have had like maybe an additional preseason, two additional preseason games per team, and allow those 2 games to be played with these rule changes to see what it looked like.
What this guy was saying the other night was that they are going to test it, but what they're going to do is the 3 preseason games, they're going to test what they're going to test it out, and if there needs to be any changes, they'll make it then. But he says I don't really see any way that they're going to change anything right in this season anyway.
No.
Yeah, this guy that was on there was pretty educated as far as the football stuff goes.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. But you know what? The thing of it is that as they test it, the ultimate test is the revenue. Will there be a shift in revenue? That's the ultimate test, because if it's still bringing in money, nothing changes. You know, they're going to run with this. If it brings in more revenue, oh yes, you know, the end result is revenue. But and I don't want to say yes, it is to me. It seems like the league is getting a little bit softer, and no one wants to see people injured. But at the same time, one of the reasons we watch the game, man, we want to see that we hit.
Well, you can, if you look at the UFL, they probably use that kickoff rule, so you can see what it looks like a little bit more that way too.
You know, Gordon, you touched on something a little while ago, talking about the evolution of the big men in the NBA, as you was talking about, you know, so these rules and evolving and everything, and just take a momentary shift, and maybe you ponder it, and then maybe we talk about it later. So, you know, there's this 8-foot guy now, basketball player from Africa. Yeah, and it sounds silly, doesn't it? It sounds really goofy. So, and it's so crazy, man. We get the Victor Wembanyama, who actually is really he's everything that was advertised to me. Yeah. You know, in terms of his ability to actually play. But just thinking about it, the 8-foot guy, I think I sent you guys a thing a few weeks ago of him, that 8-foot guy. And so just kind of as we think about it, I don't know if this guy will ever wind up in the NBA because I think there are some disputes regarding his age. Because supposedly, there's different things. Okay, the team he plays on now, is 15-year-olds, and so they don't advertise it much because the way the youth program work over there, whereas I guess is restricted for the 14s, but he's on a 15-year-old team. But then there's somebody who said some accounts out there, some old records that said the guy was 17. And then there's something that said maybe he's 22 or whatever. So we don't really know. So I don't know, maybe nothing will ever happen with him. But the point is that even if they're exploring that, and now you have a guy that's that tall, regardless of his age, that can actually really shoot a ball. He actually, actually has a touch. He can shoot the ball, and it's weird. So just think about rule changes. If we get a guy that's 8 feet tall, do we need to change the rules?
Now, you know what? And I hear what you're saying, but also in there, and looking at Wemby, okay, he's a good basketball player, okay. Will he ever be the face of the league? No, man. This dude, I'm looking at guys that bring about the excitement. When you look at what's his name, Gilders Alexander, you look at Anthony Edwards, you look at the way these guys play the game. I don't care if you can stand out there and you can just shoot the ball, but you got to bring some excitement to the game. And Wemby, don't get me wrong, Wemby's good. Wemby's good, and I think he's going to be a really good player in this league.
He's going to be,
but
I don't think
he'll be the face of the league.
I'm not sure I agree. You know why? Have you looked at this guy's handle?
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
When I look at him, but then when you look at a guy like Kyrie, there's no comparison.
Yeah, but that's different. I mean, but come on now. I mean, look at LeBron, face of the league. LeBron has no handle to me. I mean, he's awful.
I disagree with you.
Man, he's awful. He's trash. He can pass. He has great court vision. See, don't confuse it. He has great court vision. He can pass that rock, but he has an awful handle. It's very loose and raggedy. That's the reason why, man, as soon as he goes when you want to guard LeBron James, when he get ready to go to the bucket, all you got to do is crowd him. He cannot handle. If you can't handle in a tight space, you can't really handle, and he can't handle in a tight space. You look at the game.
His handles are great, huh?
His handle is trash. I'm not even going to mix words. And everybody, LeBron is my favorite player of all time, but his handle is trash.
Okay,
his handle's trash, man.
Did Kobe Bryant have the greatest handles in the world?
Oh, Kobe had nice handles. Kobe and LeBron, in terms of handles, on a different plane.
Okay.
Kobe's handle was way nicer than Bron's.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things about the game. I hear what you're saying, but Wemby will never be the face of the league, man.
I'm not sure, though.
Never.
I used to think that. I used to say that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure,
I would man. If I could, I would put money on that.
I'm not sure, man.
Guys that are a lot more talented. What Wemby has over these guys is he's taller, Nate.
I looked at Wemby crossover between his legs, spin move, George Gervin layups and stuff. This guy, man, 7.5 feet. I mean, man, this is ridiculous. So I'm not sure. And you got to keep in mind he's on a team where he's not been unleashed. Coach Pop is old school. And, on another team, somebody that would let this guy really and make him the focal point, which I don't think they do at all in saying that. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure.
I hear what you're saying.
Sure.
If anything but was candy and nuts, you know what they say. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. But to watch this dude dunk a ball and all that, that's not exciting to me.
It ain't. It's not that. But that's not what his game is.
It's not
a finesse game. His game, man. He's got a beautiful game. His game is more Kevin Durant than it is anything. His game is more like a Kevin Durant than
Kevin Durant.
I hear what you're saying, and I'm not willing to say it. He's.
Oh, come on,
he's not even close to Kevin Durant.
Oh, he got a way to go. But if I look at Wemby as a rookie and KD as a rookie, I'm taking Wemby over KD.
Mm-hmm.
If these two players are rookie players, Wemby and KD, it's Wemby.
Okay.
You got the same player in Wemby except 6 inches taller. It's ridiculous. Or 5 inches taller. It's crazy.
I hear what you're saying, and he's going to get better. But Nate, when you got those guys like the Anthony Edwards type, this is a human highlight.
I like Anthony Edwards. I like it. It looks Jordanish to me. His game really does look a lot like Jordan. You know, it really does. But I'm not the Ant-Man dude, man. It's exciting. It is an exciting game, but probably because I've seen it so much. I mean, we've seen that game a lot.
Let me say this. Okay, think about this. Tim Duncan, one of the greatest power forwards that we've seen in our time.
Bad boy.
Now, was he ever the face of the league? No. When he was playing, there were still players that were a lot more popular. The guys that sold the jerseys, the guys that the kids want to be like. You know, kids aren't, first off, well, everybody isn't going to be, 7.5 feet tall either. But,
exactly.
but folks aren't saying, man, when I grew up, I want to be Wemby. Or, you may say, they lean more toward KD, but everybody wants to be Steph or for a while there, everybody wanted to be LeBron. Now, everybody wants to have handles like, there's certain things that they want that really sells the game. That's what promotes the game. Wemby's not going to be that dude.
But I'm not sure. And that
will never be that dude. And I just made my argument. I just made my argument with Tim Duncan, one of the greatest power forwards to ever play the game. He was never.
What if Tim Duncan would have been a Laker?
He was never the face of the league.
Listen to me. What if Tim Duncan would have been a Laker?
But you know what? As great as he was never going to be the face of the league just because.
Hear what I'm saying. I hear what you're saying, and I agree that as great as Duncan was, he wasn't really, the face of the league. But I will say this. It does bring into question, would that still been the case had Tim Duncan been a Laker?
Mm-hmm. He didn't have and he didn't even have the personality to do it.
But I'm not sure. It's like, for example, just think, Shaq. Shaq was the face for a while. Okay.
He was one of the top, one of the most exciting players to watch.
And like this, if Shaq had played in San Antonio, I don't think Shaq would have been I don't think he would have shared that spotlight.
I think there's a style of play that brings about more flash and flair. And you got to have more flash and flair to your game to be there, is what I'm saying, Nate.
I agree with you.
Guys, there was the Karl Malone. We can name guys down the list. And
I agree wholeheartedly.
But when you look at flash and flair, and you write in the fact that, San Antonio, we look at Luka, who is definitely flash and flair. He makes trick shots and he does all these other things. Man, he's bigger, yeah. He probably wouldn't be as big in San Antonio, but at the same time, when you look at a franchise where, hey man, they collected rings. Tim Duncan,
let me tell you something.
Guys, they collected rings.
Let me tell you something. You put Luka in a Celtics uniform, Luka's the face of the league. You put Luka in Los Angeles, he's the face of the league. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, it's the franchise. Don't get me wrong, it is the player. but but it's like, location does matter.
Okay.
If Lucas,
and I hear what you said. Granted,
really a
playing for the
Celtic, he's
Lakers, playing
facing.
for the Celtics, yeah, it brings about a little more mystique. It does. It brings about a little bit more. But my argument is this. Also, you got to have something within yourself, to be able to say yourself, Wemby's just not that dude. It's all.
But we don't know that.
He is not that dude.
He's in San Antonio.
Look at AD. Look at AD.
Look at this. Look at Kawhi. Kawhi Leonard in San An. Kawhi Leonard left San An. Kawhi, man, they were like, oh, Kawhi's the best player in the league. They were trying to push him up there. Man, when he was in San An, man, he didn't have Pop was, man, that stuff was shut down, man. In San An, the player is not bigger, even though no pun intended, the player is not bigger than the system. In other places, man, the player can be the league. And that's what I'm saying. San Antonio, I'm not sure.
But I'm saying this, maybe he becomes a Laker, but as far as I see it right now, he will never be face of the league.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe they move to the Lakers and maybe that happens, but he will never be that dude, man. He just ain't gonna be that dude.
Ever be no Laker.
And I'm telling you this right now, you figure. Where do you rate him? Where do you rate Wemby as far as players, top players? Where do you put him?
Keep in mind now. Just think about this. Wemby is a rookie, and he might win Defensive Player of the Year.
He might.
Okay, now that sounds ridiculous to me.
But
he might win that.
Put his stats up against Luka's rookie year stats offensively.
Wemby's is better.
No, not his offensive stats. You lost.
Shawn, you got your phone in front of it.
You lost.
Pull up Wemby's rookie stats and compare them. He's putting up historical numbers, man.
You lost your mind.
Okay, pull it up. He's gonna pull it up. Wemby is all that, and you got to figure. Only thing, Luka is very exciting. I mean, he's exciting. But the only thing Luka going to do is score the ball. He better score the ball.
Okay, Wemby on the stats for this year are come bring them up.
But the kid got to keep in mind too. The basketball really, that whole philosophy about two-way play is stupid. You're supposed to play on both sides of the ball, but we know that Luka ain't playing on both sides of the ball.
Man, I saw Luka block a jump shot the other night, man. You better recognize.
Yeah, I saw Kyrie block one too the other day. So I'm like, don't give me. Hey, I ain't gonna get it twisted. Luka and Kyrie some bad boys, but we know they're gonna punish you so much offensively.
Wemby on those numbers for this season right now: 21.3 points a game, 10.6 rebounds a game, 3.8 assists, and 3.6 blocks per game. That's historic numbers they're saying.
Yeah,
that's a nice. No, I'm saying rookie numbers. I'm saying that's historic rookie. That's really good.
And that's great. But I'm saying if you look at offensive scoring and assists, he ain't that dude. As far as rookies go, don't get me wrong. All around,
I'm like, man, I can't find a rookie better than him.
Okay, here's the thing. Blocks only became recognized in 73, so it's almost certain that Wilt Chamberlain would have been on the list, but officially there have only been 2 instances in NBA history where somebody finished the season averaging that many points, rebounds, assists, and blocks. Both were turned in by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah. Now, but
that's where Wemby is right now.
Yeah, so he's on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar numbers, and actually a little better. Just a tad bit better. Probably he's gonna finish a tad bit better. But I'm saying, Wemby
that's only year one.
Yeah, I'm comparing rookie year. Mm-hmm. I'm comparing rookie year because he's gonna get better, mm-hmm. and he's in the right system to get better. But my point is this: he can go on and be the top player in the league, but he won't be the face of the league.
I hear what you're saying. But what I'm saying, I hear what you're saying. But what I'm saying is that if he were a Laker, he would have a really good chance of becoming the face of the league. I'm saying he's somewhere now where I agree. It's an uphill battle. Just like if Luka was, oh my goodness, if Luka was a Celtic right now, it would be like, I mean, it would be made for movie stuff. I mean, he would be, oh my goodness.
Look at this. And don't get me wrong. Small market, Denver, another small market. And Jokic, the Joker, man, the dude is balling.
His team is Joker's team is too good, man.
Listen at this. He's been balling for years.
Yeah, he has.
And the thing of it is this. You got to have some personality, charm, and charisma to go along with that. Joker's not that dude. And first of all, he ain't even trying to be. As great as Giannis is, he doesn't have that type of charisma about him.
He don't have that kind of consistency about him. I'm like, right now they look like trash.
But the thing of it is that you got to have there's some salesmanship that comes along with it.
I agree. The Joel Embiid's, I agree. You got to have something there. But what I'm saying is, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Is that you got to have something there, and some of the cats, they try to push in that role, even though they have that, but it's just something. I don't know what that thing is, but some players have it and some players don't.
Exactly.
I agree. I agree
saying.
with that. But what I'm saying is that with the Wemby, when you listen to his conversation, you would think that he kind of has that because of his drive to say, hey, man, I'm going to be the best dude. But the system, the place where he is, I don't think it could happen, is all I'm saying. I don't think it could ever happen. For a player to transcend.
He would stand a better chance in a Laker uniform, yes. But I don't think it would ever happen. He's just not that dude. And the reason I say that is, it takes a certain player. You look at Bron. Man, that dude has carried the league.
Yeah, he has that, whatever that, I would agree. He has that.
He did it in Cleveland.
He came into the league. He had that special thing. He had that when he came into the league. And at his level now, he's clearly, he is the poster child for a transcendent player, because I don't care. LeBron is so transcendent to right now, at his age, if you took him off the Lakers and put him in San Antonio's selling out every night. Because he has that thing. He has that. So it wouldn't matter where he is. He's clearly a transcendent player. I agree.
Don't get me wrong. That's the only thing they have there in San Antonio. And that franchise, they sell tickets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got some talent on that team too, but I don't. Something wrong.
I'm saying, you go to San Antonio. I live here, man. You go to San Antonio, they love that team, but that's all they have. We have the Cowboys, man.
The who?
Yeah, yes. The number one sports franchise in all of sports. Not the number one team. Not the number one team.
Cowboys.
But we have them, and even that the Rangers won last year. Cowboys, they trump them. If Rangers repeat, Cowboys are still going to trump them. Cowboys did not make the playoffs and still trump them.
What's the population in Dallas?
It's huge, because now we have DFW, we have Dallas Fort Worth, and Fort Worth is huge. Dallas is huge, and all those suburbs around, even some of the smaller suburbs, are huge. So it's large. It's humongous.
It's nice to hear somebody else that's on the bottom beside the Browns.
Hey, this sounds like your other show, Dan, that you just started up. with Dale, the art of argument.
They don't go to Dallas, man.
Yeah, we didn't.
I know, but hey, man, you talk what you want to about them Cowboys. Of course, don't get me wrong, man. I'm a Renegades fan now, man.
Yeah, they even know their own.
Hey, Sean, you think we ought to do one on Dale and I ought to do one on Pittsburgh and the Browns?
I'm gonna stay up in Pittsburgh right now, man. They got one of my favorite quarterbacks in town. So I don't know, man. You know, this guy's scary, man. Right now,
Who's
Pittsburgh suddenly changed. Like, man.
Wait a minute, I thought they was gonna get the boy with the pain in his nails.
Who?
The quarterback, the college kid. What's his name?
Who you talking about? Who was gonna get him?
No, not Pittsburgh. Not Pittsburgh. They wasn't. But I just
Yeah.
What's a Pittsburgh quarterback you like?
You know what? Look, I wonder if he goes the team that Chicago. Oh, you don't know Chicago. If Chicago gets when they get him, or is he gonna get like his own line and nail polish and match the uniform?
Oh, Caleb Williams.
Yeah, man. He's gonna get a contract with Maybelline, man.
I'm saying he's gonna get the Chicago. Maybe he's gonna get the nails done with the little diamond helmets on them or something.
All I heard was he's gonna get a contract. Maybelline has offered him a contract. I don't know how true that is, but someone said that. I was like, no. But anyway, I thought that was funny.
Well, the local nail salons are gonna like him, though. When they maybe get little footballs on his nails.
But could you imagine an NFL player doing commercials for Maybelline or something?
Well, Namath did it for nylons.
Yeah, but you know, and he did with the pantyhose commercial. I'll never understand that, but even that time, man, and of course, the day and time we live in now, you dare not say nothing negative about that. If you depend on what you're in, because your stock drops because you're now bashing the.
But we ain't really bashing. We ain't bashing.
No, and we're not. We're not. It is.
I'm
funny.
just tripping on the fact
we're not bashing the what do they want to call them? The alphabet community.
I'm just tripping on how you gonna be having your nails painted up like that playing football. And it's just kind of weird to me, man. You know, I'm like, they're gonna be, matches uniform colors. You know what? What's with that?
And think about this: when Dennis Rodman started coloring his hair, and we were just, folks went crazy over that.
Yeah, but Dennis Rodman, actually, to be honest, Dennis Rodman was doing the same thing that this dude talking about doing. Because remember, Dennis was totally cross-dressing. And remember he riding the Harley, the big old motorcycle with the wedding dress thing on? So he was totally cross-dressing.
And you know what he was doing? And
what was he doing?
My thing, but what he was doing is he was lining his pockets.
I thought you were going to tell me he was rebelling against rebelling against.
No. I have no idea about that. But one of the things that there was this deal came out, and he said one of the things he learned from Madonna was, because he dated Madonna and several gorgeous women, but he one of his things was he learned that, okay, if I exploit myself, I don't harm anyone else. And if I exploit myself and bring in revenue, I'm lining my pocket. And then I heard the story about Dennis. And I heard a funny.
Did he actually say that?
Exploiting himself. Basically, I'm gonna do these crazy things because it brings me money.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. What does the Bible say? The love of money is what?
And I hear what you said. I hear what you're saying. So, and I'm just saying what was said. Now, I don't know how true what was what. And one of the things that he did was, and I heard another story from another NBA player out there. It was on someone's podcast. And they said it may have been Shaq or somebody even. and they said Dennis, no, it wasn't Shaq. It was someone else. And they said that he would, after the game, they said he would leave, he wouldn't even shower his nasty behind. He played hard, and no one questioned that. And they said, you go out to the club, and he'd be with the most beautiful women. It's like, how is this smelly so-and-so out here with all these beautiful women? But I don't know. But
I guess they like the he kept it raw, man. They like the smell, man. The pheromones or something he's generating from the smell.
The pheromone, I don't know, man.
Yeah, ain't you been on the internet lately with all those pheromone commercials that are on Facebook? Hell, every other ad on Facebook is something for pheromones.
I don't know.
You can
man.
get a woman. You can get this woman. Oh, you can have this woman. All these women, I don't care what age you are, 60 to 80 or 20 to 80, you spray this stuff on it, you'll be in bed 15 minutes later. What a crock.
Say they're selling the bottle, huh? The Rodman.
What a crock of crap.
The rotting.
Oh my goodness.
The rotting. But I'm just saying, I don't know what Dennis, but and don't get me wrong, man. I ain't gonna sell. I wouldn't sell myself that way.
Yeah.
It's just not me. I want everyone to know that, hey, man,
You don't want to be called Gordana?
I'll knock you out. I hit a man with glasses on. You put them glasses on if you want to.
So look, did you guys I know we kind of talked about this, and just I've been thinking now, another sport, obviously. I'm thinking boxing. And I'm really thinking about this thing, man. Jake Paul and Tyson. I'm not so sure that Jake Paul might knock Tyson out, man. I'm kind of thinking about that now, man. I mean, this dude, a young man probably in the best shape of his life, fighting doggone
man, almost 60 years old.
I'm not sure, man.
Tyson's gonna have him for dinner.
I'm not sure, man. Initially, I was thinking that, but I'm gonna put it like this. Think about yourself at like 25 years old.
Have you seen Tyson
what
lately?
60-year-old man was gonna whip your butt.
Have you seen Tyson lately?
I don't care.
He
man.
looks like the Tyson that fought back when he was 40 years old.
That joker's brain, something up with his brain, though, man. He might need to be that fight alone.
Don't get me wrong. Mike Tyson is still, as an old man, but if there's a street brawl out there, most cats, he gonna get the dub. Mm-hmm. But Jake Paul is a trained fighter. Now, he's never fought at that level that Tyson fought at, but he's a trained fighter.
And look how long he's been training now.
Yes.
He didn't. This is not like early when he first became a YouTube sensation. This dude been at this now for a while, and he's got money now. So, his training and everything is a lot different. And I don't know. I don't know, Mike. Mike, man, you might need to rethink that thing. I mean, because I don't care how big you are. Guy like Mike said it best, guy over 200 pounds, man, catch you, with a jab there, man, you can go down. And you talking about, man, you old dude now. I'm saying, no, Jake Paul wouldn't beat young Mike Tyson. I don't care. I don't care what kind of shape Jake Paul's in right now. He's not beating young Mike Tyson. We know that. We're not talking about young Mike Tyson.
Nope, we're not.
We're talking about, think about how, sometimes, think about yourself, how you feel sometimes, some days. Mm-hmm. And some days, man, it's like, first other days, man, I'm like, man, you're trying to fight this young dude, man, like.
No, man, I'm not trying to fight a young dude. I'm not trying to fight nobody now. Because I know exactly what you said. And don't get me wrong, Mike, I'm pretty sure physically he feels better than I do. But at the same time, he's not the dude that he was. Mm-hmm. No. He's not as fast. He don't hit as hard. and he couldn't take the pounding that he took back then.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Tyson, I still think he still got that rage about him. If there's that switch that he can flip.
Yeah, he's gonna be biting off all kind of Jake's body parts, man. Don't love it.
He's got the eye, man.
He might put him in pain, stir him up, and eat him up.
Look, he probably still trying to pluck Evander's ear out of his mouth, out of his tooth, man. I'm trying to get this out. It's ludicrous. I'm like, no, but on the real, I'm just thinking about it. Man, initially I was like, man, why you gonna crush him? I was looking at his training tape. But the more I think about it, man, I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's okay. But you gonna hit a young man.
You know what? Real talk, let's not see too much of what this is. It's a money grab for both of them.
It's a money grab.
Tyson, and actually, I think Jake Paul has a lot of respect for Mike Tyson. So he's saying, hey, you know what? Hey, man, because Mike he's had some financial woes. Here, let's go ahead and get this bread together. Jake Paul is a businessman too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I believe that too. I believe. Oh, come on, man. You ain't doing it for free. Nowhere did you say, hey, we can make this happen for free. Ain't nowhere you doing that. So obviously it's a money grab, but still at the end of the day, man, I don't see Mike getting in the ring trying to fight somebody thinking, well, I'm going down. I know I can't win. I don't see that being Mike. Just from Mike Tyson. So I think that Mike really want to beat the guy. I think he really want the money, obviously. But I don't, I'm like, because think about this, man. If somebody came to you and offered you a nice sum of money, man, to do something, say, if you wind the clock back, man, this last time, do this, that, and the other. I'm like for example, man, I'm not going to the gym to play no ball, man.
Right.
Okay, but if somebody say, hey, wait a minute, Nate, and we got this money, man, you got a chance to get this money. My mind might be thinking like, wait a minute, man, I should be able to get myself in shape here. How long you gonna let me, give me before I get myself in shape? Right here, say we can, we got some money on the line, play this game.
Yeah.
I'm not going out there for $200, but if you make a nice bit of, you put the money out there and say, hey, man, I don't think you can take me in one-on-one, right? But if you put some money out there and that's a nice grip, I'm like, well, wait a minute. I can get in shape. Okay, I'm gonna go out here and get my butt in shape. We're gonna see. I would probably I would take that.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Oh yeah. Most definitely. Yeah.
But would I actually really? Would I be able to perform once I got there? I'm going to be I'm not going. I'll put it like this.
You give him the best 2 minutes of offense you ever had.
I don't think I'm not going to be able to dunk anymore. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Okay, I might struggle. I might struggle touching the backboard. I don't. You understand my point? I'm like, because it's just some things physically that I'm not going to be able to get back.
Agreed. I hear what you're saying.
And I might even be able to get myself to where I look like that. I look like I'm in a tip-top shape. But those muscles aren't going to respond the same way.
No.
So when you think about it like that, and you think about what Tyson is doing now, I don't know, man. There's something to think about.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. But no, Tyson, I don't think he's there. I had the opportunity to have a conversation with a former Dallas Cowboy great, and he was an awesome player in his heyday. It was a family function went to, and Everson Walls, and to see this dude, he looked like he could still play. And I made a comment to him about it, and he's like, "Ain't no way you getting me out there," you know. But 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 he knows that, and he realizes that. And this is a man that was, in his heyday, he was one of the best in his heyday at that time. He was one of the best there was at it, you know. But and I think we realized at a certain point in our life that, hey, look, we can't do the things we used to do. And I mean, we were talking about baseball and talking about these other things, and being able to throw a ball or hit a ball. I'm like, heck, I couldn't even see a fastball. Or you can't, trying to shoot a jump shot. Could I go out there and shoot 10 jump? Well, right now I couldn't shoot one because of the way my hip hurts. But or just things. Could you get out there? What would your 40 time be? What, you gonna let me drive? That's the reason why we convert ourselves to playing sports like golf. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, age is, and as they say, Father Time is undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I guess. That's what's so remarkable, though. I guess about old LeBron James. I gotta give it, man. You gotta give it up to dude.
Yes,
This
yes.
dude,
Still
man.
playing at a high level. When at this point you look at Kobe and those guys that played that long, they were just doing a victory lap, man, or they weren't even close to what they were. I mean, Kobe was a beast, but when he, at this point, Kobe was just going around. It was a farewell tour.
Yep.
So to say that, yeah, don't get me wrong, I think he's amazing, and to be able to still play at a high level, and to do what he's doing, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, do they make the play-in tournament?
Oh yeah, man. They're well, and today is the last game. Excuse me, tomorrow, last game of the season, right?
Yeah.
And right now they're sitting eighth, so their destiny is in their hand. All they got to do is win tomorrow, and they're there because Golden State and Sacramento, they're Sacramento and Golden State. Let me say it like that. They're 9 and 10 respectively,
Mm-hmm.
and they have the same record right now. And both of them basically have gimme games tomorrow. So both of them are going to win tomorrow. So Lakers have a pretty tough game tomorrow. They play the Pelicans. Pelicans, they had they've had a drop off since Ingram is hurt, but they still look pretty good. They had a big game yesterday. Actually, they beat the Kings last night. So if Lakers come to town and really play, they can win that game. And they need to win that game because they lose that game, they go from 8 down to 10 because both Sac and the Warriors have the tiebreaker over. So they have to win today. If they lose, they fall to 10. And then that means you gotta, you don't get the same opportunity to, make the playoffs. Because at 8 is still a play-in now. Because 7 and 10 is play-in. But the difference is that you get 2 games at 8.
Mm-hmm.
But if you win at 8, if you beat the 7, okay, then you secure the 7 seed. Right? And that's all you need to do. But if you lose in that 8th spot, then you still have another chance. You'll play the winner of the 9-10 game.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, both of those teams in the 9-10 game, have the Lakers number. Sacramento and the Warriors. So if the Lakers,
and that's something I don't want to see that early on, is because of both of those teams, or especially Golden State and the Lakers, because man, you still talking about players who just they're already legends in who they are, Steph and LeBron.
Well, the Lakers control it. If the Lakers win tomorrow, then Lakers won't have to deal with them. If they win tomorrow, they will secure the 8th seed, and then they will play more likely Phoenix for that that 7-8 game, and depends on which Phoenix show up.
Yeah, and you know what? In a 7-game series, Lakers and Golden State in a 7-game series, Lakers and Golden State, I'm taking the Lakers.
Yeah, I would take the Lakers
in a 1 game. I'm probably leaning more toward Golden State.
Same thing. My sentiments is that. Same thing with the Kings too.
It may not make sense to a lot of people, but that's just how I feel about it, because we talking about Steph Curry, who by far we've never seen anybody shoot like this dude.
No, not consistently like him. And not only that, Klay Thompson he's been on his bag lately. Yep. He's starting to shoot that thing like Klay Thompson lately. And then they just play with so much purpose, energy, and focus, man.
They do.
And as crazy as that, as small as they are, they crush the Lakers on the boards. Because AD don't play with a lot of force.
Well,
he's a nice big, but he's kind of more finesse. And so, and then as soon as you blow on him too much, he's done for about 2 games. So he's
hit that eye. That brother needs some goggles or something.
Man, but that's kind of frustrating that they didn't call a foul, man, because he got socked good in the face. Yes. It reminded me I don't know if you remember when Bron got his face broke by Ibaka. Mm-hmm. When Bron went in, dunked on the Ibaka came down, man, broke his nose and stuff, and he had to wear the face mask, and they didn't call a foul. That's kind of it. It wasn't as AD took a vicious hit. It wasn't to that degree, but it was an obvious vicious hit, and it just kind of I don't. Sometimes I don't understand what the any of the leagues do. Really, NFL though and NBA, I don't understand. They go through these periods where they're trying to every so often where they're trying to quote unquote improve the product by changing the rules, but they don't do enough to improve the officiating to me. I mean, a guy should not miss 2 games with
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I've said this before, even on this show. Officiating isn't the easiest job in the world, because
I don't know how you not see when you hit a guy and the guy is laying on the ground like he's almost knocked out. You ought to be able to see something, and you should be able right to go there
and review it.
Yeah, and you're standing on the baseline.
Because you may not have saw it real time because it happened so fast. You should be able to go back and review it. I hear what you're saying, but Nate, every time, just because a guy falls on the floor, we got some of the worst actors in the league. But
when you see a guy get clocked, I don't know how you don't see that in the face. I don't know how. Some places.
I'm looking at it on TV. And then I've had the opportunity to look at it over and over. I wish we'd had that on YouTube or had that up on the show today. Excuse me.
Which one? The AD
one? The one with AD and getting hit. But don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'm saying they could have missed it real time, but you should be able to go back and look at that.
I think they don't call it sometimes because they're like, oh, but you big softy, you flopping.
No,
and I think they don't call it for that. Because they won't call a foul if they think you're flopping. And now they can give you they will give you a T if they think you're flopping.
True.
Sometimes too.
True. That's the reason I say they should be able to go back and look at it, because sometimes real time you may not. Yeah, maybe you turn this way and boom, oh boy, got hit. Every time you can't call a foul every time somebody hit the floor.
But you know what the rule you're talking about now? You realize that's the That's the rule that's in the college game for the female college game. That's the way they officiate. So, like for example, you got Clyber, he's laying on the ground and whatnot. Man, he's laying there, man. They go back and look at the clock, and then go back and they go back and look at the play, and they can assess a foul. So yeah, you're right. Now that's a rule that, and here's what I'm saying. I don't know if I think they can do that because I can't remember who they played. I remember they went back to play. Well, actually, they've done this multiple times. They done it recently, I think, was that the Golden State game with the Lakers, like the one that had all the clock issues and everything, the one where they wound up going back when they went back 2 plays and took away LeBron's 3, and then later they showed the thing on the internet. Showed it on the internet, and it was a 3. No, they said he was out of bounds when he shot it. So they went back 2 plays later, after they gave him the bucket, took the bucket away, and then later, when they showed the thing on the internet, his foot was not down, his heel was up. And he said his heel was up during the time when they took it. Said, man, he was up. I knew where I was. I was conscious of what I did. I was not out, but they took it, right? And then, you figure, had they have not taken that, game probably would have been different. But, because that was in clutch time too. So they pick and choose when they go back.
I remember
that wasn't even the play that they were supposed to be reviewing at the time.
I remember one year that it was they called it a blocking foul, said he was in the restricted area, and he was not.
Oh, you're talking about the Golden State. You're talking about the finals when he was at Cleveland.
Yes.
With the KD thing. And then they went back and changed the whole dynamic of it. But go ahead, I'll let you elaborate.
Yeah, but that was the one that I remember. That's where I thought you were going. But
that's kind of a painful time for me as a Cleveland.
That was as egregious a missed call as far as on
what that was.
One of those type of plays as I remember. Because initially, I don't think that was the call that they made. They went back.
Right, it wasn't the call they made, and then after they figured out he wasn't in a restricted area, then they kept going on until finally, then they took the call, and said, well, he had an established legal guardian position, although he was out of the restricted area. I mean, it was stupid. But I say this, they're going to get some of them wrong, and it's just when you get those wrong, or the impact that it has on the game by you missing a call. If you hit someone and because of that lick, it takes them out of the game, and that's going to affect the game. Yeah, think about this one. Think about the Boston Celtics Los Angeles Lakers game when Jason Tatum took LeBron's arms off on his layup to the basket. That would have won the game. They didn't call a foul. He was outraged, right? Okay, they didn't call a foul, and Boston winds up winning the game. Then they come out and say, yeah, we missed that. And it was like, how could you miss it? And they were like, how could you miss that? So to me, that's what I'm saying. Those are the things they need to take care of. And not only the NBA, but in the NFL too. These calls that look like maybe somebody, I mean, they challenge the integrity, of the game, because it makes you wonder if, hey, is something going on here?
Is it rigged?
Yeah, is it rigged or what? Yeah, because it looks so obvious, and it's like, you saw it, you standing right there, you see it, guys outraged, and you see it, and so you wonder about those kind of calls, and it happens in both the NFL and the NBA.
Oh yeah. And I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna leave it alone. You remember the Saints in the
that Saints game? I was just thinking about that.
That was horrible.
And that's what makes you wonder if it's rigged or not.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if it's rigged.
But Guess what old dude did after he retired? And it was first off, it was pass interference, blatant pass interference, but also it was a shot to the head. I mean, it was about 3 calls right there. It's like, what did you not see? And that was the most egregious missed call, no call that I've ever seen in all of sport.
You know, a lot of this comes down to the referees themselves and the leagues that they're in.
Sometimes they have some animosity for a certain player.
It seems like the NFL just doesn't give a crap about some of it. You know, some of the refereeing and some of the calls that they've had in the past, you know, are just flipping ridiculous. That New Orleans thing being one of them. I remember that game. I watched it.
And conspiracy theorists always say, look at the colors of the Super Bowl logo, and you can tell who's going to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but in that one with the Saints, and oh boy, the should have been the offender. When he was shocked that they didn't make a call, and he was intense, he's like, "Look, I'll do pass interference. I'll give up a penalty before I give up a score." And it was like, "Hey, he didn't call it. I expected for him to."
Well, you wonder, and you say he retired afterwards. I wonder if anybody looked at his bank account, monitoring of his bank account, you know, afterwards, or you know, the Joker probably, okay, I done my job, I'm getting paid. Yeah. I mean, you know, you just don't know, because I mean, it's big. Come on, man, we know it's big betting.
This could take and bring us to a topic for another show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Just arguing about what these refs do, and I agree. You got to almost wonder if it's turning into WWE.
Yeah. I'll say one more thing. What was his name? Donaghy? The NBA referee that retired. It was
Donaghy, I think is what his name was.
Then he wrote a book. It was the year that Miami beat Dallas.
Is that the Tim Duncan referee guy?
No. That's Crawford. Him and Crawford used to go at it. But Donaghy, he was one that, I mean, you say what you want. Don't get me wrong. D Wade played his tail off, but he got everything. If you blew at him, he got a call. And it was, Dallas got robbed.
But they took care of him, though, when they played against Bron and then, because they took care of him then. So it was a reverse of that.
Well, I hear what you say, but I look back at it and looking back at that, and don't get me wrong, but it wasn't, when you look at the amount of calls made, it was even.
Mm-hmm. That officiating was ridiculous.
It was even. And I hear what you're saying. But what happened to Bron down the stretch? He didn't show up.
Yeah, once you get because you can see, this is what people, and I've said, y'all heard me say this before.
He didn't show up.
The officials show up, man. Look, the officials can mess you up. Once you playing against you playing against 7. You playing against 5 guys on the floor, really 8. 5 guys on the floor and 3 officials.
Get this.
And it gets really frustrating.
Get this, though. Get this. Offensively, and Dirk didn't even shoot a single 3. He kicked they behind, too.
The officiating. See, but I think the same way about that series that you feel about the Miami Dallas.
Dirk didn't get the calls. Dirk wasn't going to the free throw. He wasn't the one going to the free throw line.
I just feel the same way. I feel like
he went to the free throw line.
But the reason why I said, well, first of all, we know that Brian don't get calls anyway. But you know, and it frustrates you. And then the other people talk about the fact that, hey, you don't shoot a good percentage from the line. Well, by the time, you know, you've allowed the officiating of the game to get in your head, and you're trying to block it out, you go to the line and you're irritated, it's kind of hard to make those free throws. But
all I got to say, two things right there. I remember them putting Haslam on Dirk there, and all
I remember about that series
not D-Wade, but Haslam and Bosch. And I remember Dirk cooking them. And then, so they double teamed him. Jet went off. And then they gave Jan Bohemi, I think in that one game, they gave him like 7 open mid-range jump shots.
All I remember about this series,
Jan Bohemi.
the only thing I remember is bad officiating. That's what sticks out.
All other thing I remember
me.
Dallas whooping that.
I just remember bad officiating.
Yeah.
The big German ball.
We are looking at quarter to one here in the East.
But yeah,
I think
I got Nate going now, man.
we need to wrap this up. So it's been a good show. I'm welcome back, Nate, again. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should see if I can put some feelers out to get an actual NFL or NBA ref. I got a couple of sources I might be able to get something from. So give me a little bit of time. We'll have to try maybe to do that. I'd like myself just to bring one in here and grill him.
Yeah, I'd like that. That would be cool. Also, I'd like to get a hat signed by Dirk for Nate.
I like Dirk.
Always digging there. Always digging there, Gordon. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up for this week. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If you're on Rumble, give us a like over there, or if you want to drop us a comment. I read the comments all the time. So if you want to drop us a comment there, drop us one. And anywhere else that you find us, if there's a way of dropping us a line, or if you want to drop any one of us a line too, you can also write crooked or office at crookedriverradio.com. And if there's, just tell me when you write who it's addressed to, and I'll make sure they get it. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this. Been a blast, man. This is one of the better shows we've done in a while. So with saying that, we will see everybody next week. Y'all stay safe and enjoy the sunshine. We didn't talk about the eclipse.
Talking about Tiger Woods either.
And we'll have to cover the eclipse next week with some of the other stuff that goes on or went on here. So anyway, y'all have a splendid week. We will see you in 7 days and about the same time. Anybody else got anything? If not, this has been a Crooked River Media production.